Democrats are likely to think that Trump is just not morally, but also legally barred from office. And if the Supreme Court strikes down this Colorado Supreme Court ruling, that is going to completely undermine the legitimacy of the course, unless somehow Justice Roberts is able to convince a bunch of Democratic appointees to join a judgment in which they overthrow the Colorado Supreme Court. If this thing is decided 6-3, in which all three of the Democratic appointees to the Supreme Court vote in favor of barring Trump from a state ballot, then every Democrat in the world is going to think that Trump is legally barred from running, which means that even if he wins, there's no way they're possibly going to accept his election. So both sides are now set to not accept the results of the election. Under all circumstances, if you're a Republican and you just watched Democrats, the Biden administration, the Colorado Supreme Court weaponize the law against Donald Trump personally to bar him from ballots, to criminally prosecute him before the election, and then he loses, you are going to claim correctly that Trump was cheated. And you're not going to accept Joe Biden's reelection if you are a Democrat. And you believe that the Colorado Supreme Court is doing the legal thing and that a bunch of Trump appointees on the Supreme Court overthrew that and Trump is legally barred from running because he's an insurrectionist, and then he wins, there will be massive riots. Again, Democrats are celebrating this sort of stuff. You should not be, if you are hoping for conciliation in the Republic at all, you should not be celebrating a rogue Supreme Court in Colorado simply banning the leading candidate for one of the lead political parties and the person currently leading for polling for president of the United States from the ballot.
The practical consequence as it stands at this moment, though, is that Donald Trump will not be on the Colorado ballot in the race for president in 2024. The Supreme Court almost certainly will take this up. It's also important to keep in mind for the broader context. There have been dozens of these challenges filed across the country, and 18 or so of them have either failed, been rejected, or been withdrawn by the plaintiff. So this is really an outlier. The Supreme Court is going to have the final say.
Now, the predictable result of this inside a Republican primary is, again, a boost for Trump. Anytime the left attacks Trump illegitimately, it causes everybody on the right, including people like me, to say, well, maybe you just want it. You're going to get it good and hard. Like, you're asking for the fight. You're going to get the fight.